Yasmina, it seems you are going on a trip. Do you need help to pack your bag?
I don't know what to take with me to the trip.
Well, if you know how the weather will be like over there, then you will be able to pack what you really need rather than taking everything as you are doing. Oh, wait! You can't know the weather using your binoculars. There are some facts to follow and some predictions to make.
But it was rainy all week. I guess it will rain up there.
Well, not necessarily. Sometimes the weather is unpredictable, but there is always a reason behind it. How does it change? Why? If you want to know more about the weather and its changes, watch our next episode. For now, Yasmina, you can watch the news and check the weather next week. Oh no! What happened to you? You are sunburned.
How can the news be so mistaken? They said it will be rainy and it was sunny. See?
Oh, you should have taken your cap. Weather is unpredictable. Even on the news, sometimes they can't predict what might happen.
But it was cloudy.
What was the color of the clouds?
Red? I am kidding. Aren't the clouds always white?
Well, sometimes they look darker with raindrops. This means rain.
I can't remember the color, but I do remember the wind. It was windy. Wind means rain too.
Why?
When it is windy, the weather becomes cold.
What if it doesn't? What if the wind was warm? You can have a sandstorm when it is hot in the desert. There is a better way to know if it will rain.
All I know is that when I feel cold, it rains.
So it is about temperature, not just wind. You are right. When the temperature decreases and becomes low, cold, it rains. Water vapor in the clouds becomes liquid, becomes rain. Do you know that wind sometimes fights rain?
How?
What gives us rain? Water vapor in the clouds.
And wind can move the clouds away. Yes, it can stop the rain by moving the clouds away.
So, it does not necessarily rain when it is windy. It's about both temperature and wind. You need to measure them both.
I can measure temperature using a thermometer, but how do I measure wind? I can just feel it.
You can measure how fast the wind is.
You mean how fast it is moving? Like a car?
Yes, the wind becomes stronger when it moves faster. This machine turns around if there is wind and measures its speed. Super high-speed wind can cause a tornado. A tornado can cause a lot of damage. It can roll and lift cars. Wind can be so powerful.
Sometimes when it is windy, we miss some clothes from the clothesline and we look for them around.
Clothes hunt. You know what? Wind can often help wet clothes dry faster. Let us see using the hairdryer which cloth will dry faster. Here you have two cloths of the same size. I am going to drop water on both, and I am going to use the hairdryer to dry one of them.
I think the one with the hairdryer will dry faster.
It did. Here wind is helping us dry something that is wet. So wind can help in water evaporation as well by carrying the water vapor away.
Well, it was windy. My clothes took minutes to dry.
Where was the wind coming from?
That's a hard question. From the sky?
Wind comes from different directions. If it's coming from the direction of the sea, it would be wet. Why?
Because the sea has water, it would have water vapor.
If it's coming from the mountains, it would be dry. Can you guess from which direction would wet wind come from in Lebanon?
From the direction of the sea.
Right. So from the west. But wet wind would come from the north in Egypt. Why?
Because the sea is at its north, it brings water vapor from the sea.
True. The wind was dry. That's why your clothes dried so fast. And when the wind is dry, most probably you won't have rain.
I wish I knew that. Can rain be measured like wind?
We can't measure the amount of rain that will fall until it falls down. You can use a similar instrument to measure the rainfall.
Oh, that's heavy rain.
Yes, it can cause floods. Rain, wind, and temperature affect our lives every day. That's why special people study weather and predict how the weather will be. Do you know how sailors and fishermen used to predict the weather hundreds of years ago?
Did they have special instruments?
Well, it was long before those instruments were invented. They would just observe the sky. Red sky at night, sailors' delight. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. Think about it and try to figure out what it meant. Share your answers in the comments. Bye for now.
لمشاهدة المزيد من الحلقات زوروا سات 7 بلس.